Hi guys, it's Drew here. I'm here to make a Top Deck Tuesday video. I know it's been quite a while and I've been doing other things and working on other projects, but I'm back with this, I guess you could say, series. Have been making videos because I have been ill and I still probably am. I had the cold, flu, and then I've started to have really bad stomach issues and I went to the doctor said it was weight related, but my intuition is telling me it is like partly weight related, but it's something else as well. So it's getting to the point where I'm probably either going to go to a different doctor again, or go to the hospital because it's just really bad. It's like pain, but it comes and goes, so it's kind of weird. Anyway, um, I thought I'd make a video today doing my Top Deck Tuesday and starting this series back up again because it's something that I really love doing and enjoyed it, and it kind of gave me a little bit of focus of what to use some of my decks for. And so, without further ado, and I do have to read my questions because it's been a while and I forgot what the questions are. I created it, but I forgot what the questions are. Okay, so what deck is at the top of your pile this week? Well, I'm actually currently working with the Wildwood, but I decided not to choose that one for this week because it's a much larger scale project I'm working with it. So I decided that I was going to connect with the connected and free deck, the Alchemist Oracle, by I don't know what her name is, Laura Aletta. Now I know a lot of people have some controversy around her decks. I agree with the Lumina Tarot. There's no way I'm ever going to touch that, like with my money. However, I do and have always wanted the connected and free Alchemist Oracle because it really spoke to me with colors and images and whatnot. And so I guess you could say that the story about how it came into my life was on a swap, on a tarot swap. And Katie Flowers, the lovely Katie Flowers, had this up for swap, and I didn't have anything that I wanted to swap. And so I ended up purchasing it. I think I paid around about $50 for it, which was fine by me because I knew that it was out of print and hard to find. Plus shipping, because I had to ship it to my house as well. And it didn't come for a while, which was that was okay because Katie was dealing with some stuff. And she actually sent me some. She sent me a pendulum, a piece of artwork, and a really nice letter with the deck, and it was really just beautiful. And when I got this deck in my hands, I was like, oh my gosh, because to be honest with you guys, I never actually thought I'd get my hands on it. I knew that it was, like I said, out of print. A few people had it, and a few people that did have it that I knew really loved their deck, so it wasn't like they were gonna part with it. So when it came up, I was like, yes, I will love this. I will pay extra if I have to because, you know, I would have bought it anyway, but at the time I just didn't have the funding to do so. And it has fast become one of my favorite decks, and I knew it would be because I just like this, for example, family. I just love it. Now, I wasn't expecting the card stock to be kind of glossy. Like, I don't know, whenever I've seen the images, I guess my mind has always gone to the Wild Unknown. And even though, you know, there is that comparison, I do think it's a separate deck. I do think it is a. I don't even know, like, I don't even think it's a sister deck. I just think it does have very similar patterns and things like that, and colors, but it's its own thing. And so the next question is, what have you used it for? I've used it for a couple of things. Now, there's one card I'll try here. There's one card I'll try and find it that keeps coming up and doesn't leave me alone. It's right on, like, I don't even have to search for it. It knows me. It has come to know me. And that is the Elixir card. Just about every reading I do with this deck at the moment and in the past, this card has come out a lot. And it's been working in nicely because I have been really wanting to work with creating my own elixirs, and I have been, which I've been using the energy of this card. There's also an elixir in my novel, so that kind of made a bit of sense because there was that undertone of magic in creating elixirs and potions and stuff like that. So it has, I kind of see why it has been popping up, but it's also like it comes up in other spreads as well, and I'm like, okay, are you a haunting card? Not a haunting, but it's a lovely card, and I love this card. I love the colors as well, and I love what it means because it's talking about not being a vessel on this planet, and you are your own person, you are your own unique body, and just because you are spiritual or just because you are challenging and creating and magic does not mean that you are a vessel. And I really like that because a couple of times when that has come up, I've kind of felt like, my journey is healing, my journey is sharing, my journey is putting myself out there and being in the spotlight and having that, having the audience to be able to share my feelings and my journey, but also to be able to offer that so that people may be able to reflect on theirs. And that's something that I really love doing. I love being able to give ideas, share ideas, and so that's been one of my fears. But around what I've been doing with, I've been doing a few things. Like I said, I've been using it with my novel. I've been using it as an energy channel for creating my elixir. I have been using it to focus on things around the aspect of my novel, and I was using it, like the deck itself, with the chakras as well, to do some chakras and pendulum work to figure out where I was at. And I've also been using it for two set of things. So it's like dreaming and writing, and it's like, where is my dreaming right now, and where is my writing right now? And I kind of use this deck to check in with where I am at, because to me it just feels the perfect deck for it. Because I like how sometimes when my readings it comes up with the chakra cards, and I kind of need to look at what area I need to focus in those two important aspects of my life, because dreaming and writing are very important parts of my practice. And I think I need, not that I've always needed a deck like this, but I think the deck that this is and the way it's created and the images really allow me to actually tap into those two aspects of myself, because I do it for personal readings, but I do it around my creativity a lot. And because I'm such a visual person and I need that color, I thrive off color and visualization. This deck is really perfect for that. And I love this. Because I could put that next to the elixir, because that's what I'm making. Herbal teas. You are actually where you need to be. I've needed to hear that for a while. Okay. So, what distinct energy does it hold? Well, I kind of think I've explained that the energy is definitely about visualization and color. And something that is interesting too is that ever since I've been using this deck, I don't know whether it's like subconscious or not, but I really love the images, the hand drawn images, and lately I have been wanting to draw a lot, and I have been. And I think that some of the hand drawn images are probably my favorite, like the sketch ones, like this for example. You can see this is a sketch as well. And I think the energy of it, like to me, outside of all the controversy and shit that's gone down with her as as a creator and the artist and whatnot, still feel the energy is like the alchemy. It is literally alchemy. It is transmutation. It is healing. It is taking an image and using its energy to create, manifest, and destroy. And when I started working with this deck, it was around that time period when I'd been considering, like, all the messages have been coming through my dreams to consider alchemy and looking into that, and that's how I connect and heal. And then when I got the deck, a lot of sort of synchronicities as does happen when you get decks. A lot of synchronicities started happening around alchemy and sort of posts popping up and circle magic and things like that. That one I wanted to put into my novel because it kind of made sense, but outside of my novel, it made sense to be using alchemy and working with alchemy to create things that I want to create, especially when it comes to like portals and things like that as well in my astral world and dreaming world, and creative world, I guess you can say. And lastly, where do you want to take your relationship next? This week, I'm just thinking, where do I want to take my relationship? Well, I haven't been doing a lot of spreads lately, which sounds really, really weird for me, but the spreads, well, I have been doing like card readings, like 1 a day card readings, which is I'm doing this thing, and I probably will make a video at the end of the week to see how I go, which will match up with my CMP course. I've been doing a major arcana journey, and I started the course last week and decided that it just wasn't sitting right with me, like the content, the way it was presented. The concepts were great, and the exercises to complete the course were okay. So I've decided that, like, one of the things was to draw your landscape, and I think that I'm going to be drawing my landscape, but not every day. To me, how I see my tarot landscape isn't necessarily on as a visual thing on a page, as a drawing. When I'm talking about drawing my landscape, or when she's talking about creating a landscape so you can see where you are with the tarot, it always comes back to writing for me. So I sat with it, I meditated, I wondered what I was going to do because I was just starting to get really nervous and panicky, and it was not fun for me. I was resisting it. And I decided that I was going to do some meditations. I was going to use the cards to create my own meditations and use those meditations as dedicated dream work. So it was kind of laying the foundation for 2 areas of my life that I've been working on really heavily. Not so much the past couple of days though, because I've been and sleeping a lot. But it's been good too, because it's meant that, before I go to bed, I write this meditation. I know that because I'm going to be sleeping a lot, I'm going to be having a lot of dreams. So when I have woken up between, needing to eat and relaxing and sort of doing other things, I've been able to write a couple of my dreams down slowly and see where they relate to the cards. And that's what I'm using the Wildwood for. But I think with this deck, I'm gonna start with the things that I have been using it with and get back into the flow, because I would like to be doing that on a regular weekly basis, checking in where I am with my dreaming and writing. So dreaming is lumped also into astral travel and areas like that, and writing is journaling and things like that. But the one thing that I really want to do with this deck, and I feel like where our relationship is going next, is that transmutation, is that shifting, like a certain energy, and working with it and molding it and changing it to another energy. So around that, I want to be doing that around food, because food has come up. I have been triggered really hardcore this week, and I have been fighting back with it around food. If you follow my Instagram or see it on Facebook, you'll know that they want to put me on food suppressants, and that's kind of made me a little bit sort of all over the place lately. And I said no, and I've been hearing experiences and things like that, so I had to decide what I wanted to do, and something I really want to do is start journaling and writing about food. Not just journaling and writing about food, but journaling when I am hungry, um, or not necessarily hungry, but when I know that the reason I'm eating is because there's an emotional response I'm trying to block, or understand. And by like having like snacks like fruit and nuts, um, and bringing that into that space so I can still be eating when I feel like I really want to eat and I'm eating something healthy, but I'm also writing at the same time. So it's kind of feeding both of those areas. And I think this would be a great daily prompt, daily journaling centering point. Whether I use it as like I write on the card, like not on the card, but like write about the cards, or just use it as a meditation energy center for the focus. I think this would be a really fantastic way to, one, tap into that alchemy energy. And it's, it is about words. I love words. Words are power. So connected and free. I want to feel free in my body and not trapped in um, that cycle. And when you do unlock, it's like shadow work. When you do unlock parts of yourself, and you begin healing parts of yourself and recovering, other parts are going to come up. So I knew that it was only a matter of time before my issues around food came up. And because money, food, and sex are kind of like on that triangle, but I'm trying to shift the triangle and make it into a circle because it is a cycle. And using this deck, I feel like it's going to be a really positive step because I do want to be journaling daily. I do want to be writing my morning pages. And for me, morning pages, I don't necessarily like. I know the premise is supposed to be like you do them just as you wake up, and I can do that. But for me, I like to make a cup of tea and do my dream journaling first, and then sort of dedicate half an hour to 40 minutes just writing those 3 pages. And most of the time it doesn't really matter what they're about, but to me they usually have a focus because that's what helps me understand what I'm going through and starting my day. So I think, yeah, morning pages and working with my food stuff is going to be where my relationship goes with this deck next. um I think that's it, really. So thank you guys for watching, and yeah, my energy is a little bit at the moment. I plan on making a video at the end of the week, hopefully. Other than that, at the moment, I'm taking my self-care seriously and taking my body seriously because it's going through a lot of changes, as is my mind, and I need to focus on that. And I will, yeah, let you know how this process goes with this deck at the end of the week, and I will also be probably making a video about my CMP tarot journey and my thoughts so far, because I have plenty of thoughts about this course. I have plenty. Some good, not so good. Alright, I love you all, and I will talk to you later. Bye.